So remember that one time I made a video about every single Ruby character getting a matchup? Yeah, I want to do those again. But this time with JJK being one of my favorite anime series of all time at this point. So here we go. Woo! Also, yeah, this time I'm using my real life voice so you don't have to listen to that cringy robot voice I had before. To start off, obviously, Yuji Itadori versus Denji from Chainsaw Man. This matchup is a fucking banger and one of my all-time favorites and a most wanted. This matchup has been around for quite a while, which more people are getting into, which is fantastic, which also leads to more fans of both series, which is also fantastic. The premise of this matchup is really both are the new main characters of dark shonen titles who are bonded with a demonic being, giving them incredible power. There's a contrast with both Yuji and Denji. Like, Yuji's life was pretty, normal as a teenager, but as soon as he ate Sukuna's finger and became Sukuna's vessel, his life went downhill. As for Denji, his life was shit. He was in the slums, he was poor, he needed money, and he died. But when he fused with his pet chainsaw doggo, Puchita, or Puchta, or however you want to pronounce it, his life becomes better. Well, slightly better, but it's better. He's with Makima, he gets to eat food and all, yada yada. Also, Yuji is a big booty guy while Denji is a big titties man. Yes, that connection is important. No, it's not a stretch. Don't leave it out, you uncultured swine. Next is Megumi Fushiguro versus whatever. It's Aki. Another Chainsaw Man matchup. This matchup is also, a pretty basic premise. Both are the, straight men, aloof characters who are somewhat, dickheads to the main guy, to then, gaining their respect. The reasons for their own status is because due to the loss of their siblings, like Megumi's stepsister and Aki's little brother. And as we see in the story, both of them warm up to the main character and the others, and are also very skillful swordsmen. Also, if you're wondering, hey, where's the connection that they summon animals? Well, you see, Aki can't summon the Fox Devil anymore. I know, it sucks. And he only used it for one episode at the very start. But does this take away from the matchup itself? No. He doesn't have the Fox Devil anymore, but it doesn't mean he can't work with the other stuff he has. He has the Future Sight Devil, and he also has the Soul Devil, at least. I'm not sure if they could interact with Fushiguro's spirit animals, but we'll see in the future. My all-time favorite, Nobara Kukusaki versus Nora Valkyrie. I've already explained this in my previous video with giving every single Ruby character a matchup. For a, quick summary, both are ginger girls who wield hammers, yet shocking, and also both have similar backstories as they met a specific someone who they love and are the reason who they are now. Okay, we're on to Gojo now. Here we go. When it comes to Gojo matchups, it's pretty controversial. Some people still like Makima, the funny dog lady, which I don't. People like Urahara from Bleach, which is cool. And there's some others who like Buddha from Ragnarok, which is also cool. But for me personally, I gotta give it to my boy Kakashi. Okay, for the people who are about to type in the comments right now, stop, okay? Listen. I know you're saying, oh, why are you using Kakashi, Yank? He's already been on Death Battle. Why should he come back? Obi-Wan is his best. Maki must sweep. Bark, bark, woof, woof.
Man, shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah, I understand that my last video was about Death Battle matchups and honestly has not aged well. But this is different. This is more of a video giving ideas for specific characters. And no, I do not expect them to be on Death Battle. I don't really expect Kakashi vs Gojo to be on Death Battle. I just want to share my personal ideas for these characters. You can agree, you can disagree, that's perfectly fine. But to say stuff like, oh, they shouldn't return, and oh, why should this happen on Death Battle? No, that is not what I'm trying to say at all. Now I finally got that off my chest. Time to explain why I like this matchup idea. When it comes to this matchup, I just really like its core theme. Yeah, they're both laid back and skillful old dude mentors to our main protagonist with a monster inside of them. But what I like more about this matchup is it doesn't just focus on their appearance and special abilities, but also about their pasts. Both had similar traumas, suffering through the loss of their loved ones. Both of them lost one of their best friends on the mission. Turns out their friend to be alive, but for them, they joined the villain side as an opposing threat, which leads to their friend to start a great war. When reading the JJK manga, I learned more about Gojo and realized that he had more similarities to Kakashi than I thought, which is great and makes the matchup better. Even though this is a generally good matchup, it's a shame it doesn't get that much attention like the others. Like, not only is it thematic, but it can also come up with great fight choreography. It can start off as, something similar to All Might vs. Might Guy, as a friendly spar, to then going all out at each other. And for the final blow/clash, you can have Gojo use his hollow purple against Kakashi's perfect Susanoo. And for an ending, well, between either Gojo or Kakashi winning, they'll complement their opponent. And even though Gojo is a bit cocky when it comes to finishing his foes, but I'd say he'd be more serious with Kakashi because, well, he understands what Kakashi is as a person and what he's been through. So yeah, that's why I like it. Inuyuta Toge vs Koichi Hyosei. Both are small gray-haired boys who use the power of sounds, and Toge could literally do anything what Koichi can. Seriously, that's the most specific matchup you're gonna get for both these characters. Name another small gray-haired boy who used the power of sound. Yeah, exactly. Panda versus another panda from Tekken. They're both pandas and also fight. Yeah, that's it. The pandas, the fight. Yeah. For Zen and Maki, all I could think of for now is Weiss from Ruby. Yeah, another JJK and Ruby matchup. Jesus Christ. What's with these two franchises against each other? This is more of a rival than Chainsaw Man with JJK. Unbelievable. This matchup is specifically for Maki during JJK 0 and somewhere in the anime, not the manga. Because in the manga, she is totally different. But to start off with Weiss, both are, sassy ponytail girls, seen as ruthless and rather cold to the protagonists, Yuta and Ruby, are part of a wealthy, famous family, yet are treated like filth since that said family is shit. Especially their fathers, which they left their families to join an academy despite them. And both have a tough relationship with their other family members, like their sisters, their brothers, mother, and again, father. And the reason for why they are treated as such is, okay, from what I remember, Weiss gets treated the way she is because of a lack of experience as a huntress, yet she still wants to become a huntress at Beacon despite her family. I think that's how I remember it. While Maki Zenin, on the other hand, wants to become a Jujutsu sorcerer despite not having that much cursed energy. For the people in the comments, can you please let me know if I was right about Weiss's part? Thank you. And also smug as fuck. Okay, Now for Maki in the manga, she is now completely different. Goes from this, smug boss bitch to now a much more dark, serious, aloof character, murking her entire family, including the dad, and becomes a vigilante? I don't know. For current manga Maki, the only matchup I could find for her is Genji, and I don't know how I feel about that. Oh well, for now, I'm just gonna stick with Weiss for Maki. This specific version of Maki, that is. Aoi Todo versus Okuyasu Nijimura from JoJo's. Yeah, back in the day I liked, but I still like this matchup overall. I think it's cool. It's pretty simple. Both start off as antagonists against the main character, but after their fight they become best bros and also have something with a taste for women, and their abilities are related to their hands and stuff. It's cool. It's cool. I like it. Although, there's another matchup I do like for Todo. Introducing... That's right, the man himself, Tengen Uzui from Demon Slayer. Yeah, this matchup I actually slightly like better than Okuyasu. Not saying it's bad, but I like it better because it radiates more of the buff, macho, giga chads. This matchup is also quite simple to understand, like both specialize in slaying supernatural monsters, and also one of the most strongest and skilled members in their organization. They're incredibly over the top and eccentric in the best way possible. Did I say that right? I don't know. Despite being rough on the main trio, they have a heart of gold, and eventually warm up to the main protagonists, Yuji and Tanjiro. And both have some odd thing about them when it comes to women. For example, Tengen has multiple wives, while Todo decides who to fight based on their taste in women, and their design includes something over their left eye, like Tengen's red mark and Todo's scar. So yeah, it's quite simple to understand. For fight potential, it would be really interesting how Tengen's sound breathing would play off of Todo's boogie woogie. And most of the time, it's just gonna be them just like brawling it out. And even though Todo is fighting a guy with blades, I think he can manage. Next is Nanami Kento versus Jotaro Kujo. But not in Stardust Crusaders, in Diamond is Unbreakable. Why? Why not? It will be much more interesting to use another version of Jotaro that isn't the Stardust Crusader all the goddamn time. So basically, it starts off with, well, back then when they were teens, they were usually, the cool, edgy, badass, and would always get the ladies. On a mission, they experienced the deaths of their friends. This, however, changed their attitudes. Now, currently, both wear white suits to a contrast to their darker uniforms when they were younger to show that they're fully grown up and more mature. They secretly work in an organization to deal with many threats amongst their society, like curses and bad stand users, and both possess spiritual abilities involving close combat. And when not using brute force, they can be rather clever when in certain situations. In their stories, they would play the mentor role for the main character, teaching them to use their abilities to progress in their arcs. Jotaro teaches Josuke many ways to use his stand, and Nanami teaches Yuji about curse energy, and would go out fighting other spiritual users, including one of them being the main villains, who they pummeled the shit out of. Connection-wise, really good, pretty solid. For fight-wise, pretty simple, just like punches and stuff, trying to outsmart the other. And also, it would be really interesting how it would play off with Nanami's precision curse technique compared to Jotaro using his precision with Star Platinum and the time stop. And to finally end off with the good guys, Yuta Okkotsu versus Asa Mitaka from Chainsaw Man. Yeah, another JJK and Chainsaw Man matchup. Here we go. Two young teens who started off as antisocial people with great losses in their lives. Asa losing her mother and Yuta losing his childhood best friend. He's GF. They would in different ways blame themselves for these events and live while carrying a lot of guilt. They would both bond and make pacts with a powerful monster in their world, the war devil Yura, and Rika, the queen of curses. These monsters give them power and make them stronger. They would then go to schools where the people there train to hunt the monsters of their world, devils and curses. Here they would meet new people who they would start to form bonds with, and after a mission where the person they were with was almost killed, they would resolve to help others. They would also be in conflict with the main character, Yuji and Denji, for a moment of time. I really like this matchup, and so does another friend of mine who's also a Chainsaw Man himself. The fight choreography would also be interesting, like how Yura/Asa would use other people's bodies as weapons against Yuta's sword, and also Rika fighting alongside him. It's nice. Oh, what's that? Kamen Rider Revice? Hell nah. Now, on to the bad guys. That's right, the despicable, the pieces of shit, and the menaces. Starting off with Mahito, the piece of shit. Mahito has two matchups, and both of them are pretty interchangeable, but I'm gonna start off with Shigaraki from My Hero. This matchup is about the villain/rivals against the main characters, and also have some kind of contrasting thing with the said main characters as well, but I'm not gonna go into detail because this video is already gone long enough. Both of them have powers of destruction by their fingertips. Both have unlocked a powerful form that causes more mayhem than usual, and something about them being brought up due to society being a big mess. I guess that counts. Also, they're crusty as hell. Seriously, give these guys some lotions. Okay, now for the second matchup. Cinderfall from Ruby. I know. Shut up. Hear me out. Okay, so both secondary villains in this series and the right-hand man/woman to the main villain. Both are very manipulative with people and are absolutely full of themselves. Kill one of the main protagonist's friends right in front of them, which led to them and the protag having a rivalry throughout the story. Also got their ass handed to them afterwards. Cinder getting silver-eyed by Ruby, and Mahito got folded like an omelet by Yuji. God damn. And then he got jumped by Yuji and Nanami, and God, I fucking love this scene. Even though they talk big and can be threatening at times, they are pretty cowardly, and they can change certain things and limbs into weapons. Cinder's semblance allows her to create certain materials into glass weapons, and her grim arm, and Mahito can change his limbs into weapons due to his shape-shifting curse ability, and also other people, and other things, yeah. And a somewhat part monster like Cinder now having a grim arm which is slowly infecting her, and Mahito is a humanoid curse. And yes, Cinder can see Mahito. If Junpei, this guy, is able to see Mahito, who had no cursed energy at all, I'm pretty sure Cinder can too. Same goes for Shigaraki. Jeez, I freaking hate that argument. Oh, they got seen because they're invisible. Shut up. So yeah, those are the two Mahito matchups. Next is Sukuna versus Asura from Soul Eater. Both are multiple-eyed demons who were originally good and well-respected people, part of an organization, but then went down a dark path, becoming the monsters who they are, were sealed away for like many years to be brought back into prison, completely chaotic, and are menaces, Black Air Force activity, and are also supposedly gonna be used as a plan for one of the villains, Medusa and Geto. But they don't fucking care about them. Yeah, it's my preferred for Sukuna, although I do like Dio still. It's also cool as well. The fight potential of this match is really fucking cool. It's crazy, it's stupid, it's chaotic. You know, they're giving everything they got at each other, they're going all out, trying to murk the other dude, they're laughing at each other chaotically, it's fucking great. Next is Geto Suguru versus Medusa, another solid matchup. Both are the parent of one of the prominent characters in the show. Both have the ability to take someone else's body through a special technique. Their main goal is to bring back an evil being from a long time ago. Hey, call back to Asura and Sukuna. Recruited a league of other villains to help them accomplish their goals. However, they have both gotten into conflicts with someone that would have gotten in their way. So, they had to get rid of them. Geto had to seal Gojo up, and Medusa had to manipulate Stain. And they want to change/evolve humanity as another part of their plan. Yeah, pretty neat matchup for Geto. Honestly, I kinda like it better than Makima. Oh yeah, Makima. Surprisingly, she fits more for Geto than Gojo. Okay, moving on. Hanami and Jogo versus Michael Zowski and Sully. It's a duo matchup. The short guy is a one-eyed monster, and then the other tall guy is a big buff monster. It's funny. Please don't take this seriously. And for the final last matchup for the villains is another Ruby matchup. Okay, yeah, I know, Jesus. Laugh it up. Okay, you done? Okay, let's begin. This is Toji Fushiguro versus Raven Bronwyn. Both are blade-wielding antagonists who abandoned their child at a young age, who just so happens to be one of the main characters, are members/former members of a clan/tribe. Both of their children were taught by someone they disliked, Gojo and Crow being their rivals. Even though they left their child, they still cared for them. Hell, they even saved them from another villain, from them getting killed. Toji saved Megumi from Megumi, and Raven saved Yang from Neo. Both are also use many abilities thanks to their arsenal, like Toji is able to have a variety of weapons thanks to his Curse Spirit pouch, and Raven is able to use different dust blades from her sword sheath. Again, a thematic matchup, and also really fucking cool as well with fight choreography. I like this better than freaking Kazuya Mishima. So yeah, preferred for both for now. I'm looking for another opponent for Toji, but if I don't mind sticking with Raven. And that concludes today's video. Wow. Like 24 minutes. Jeez, this was like the same length as an anime episode. Anyways, so yeah, I'm thinking of doing more of these. I want to do an Overwatch one because I've been playing lots and lots of Overwatch lately. I want to do a Naruto one. I want to do a Transformers one, and so on. Anywho, I'm done here. Off with a yang. Goodbye. Oh, and thank you for 400 subs. Y'all are amazing.